Welcome. Nope. Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. I'm very excited for today's beer because it's from a brewery. Excuse me for the burps. That's from a brewery we get stuff from quite often. But it's their first, as far as I can tell, first lager. Yeah, a little Pariah up in this piece in the form of their artificial Pilsner. Yeah, got a little bit of kind of like a geometric patterned kind of trippy on acid mushrooms little guy going on over here. Not sure what this means. But it is just Pilsner. What does it mean? The back. We have story time. Oh, I forgot to turn my little light on. There you go. Now you can see it better. Yeah. What do we have going on here? It is art official. Get it? It says art official instead of artificial. Pilsner, dry hop Pilsner. This dry hop Pilsner draws inspiration from the industrial ingenuity to create artificial refrigeration, allowing brewers to produce year-round, and forward-thinking brewers in the Czech Republic who utilize brand new ingredients and techniques to create what is now most widely produced and consumed beer style on the planet. We break from a traditional Pilsner by utilizing American hops, including Warrior, Magnum, Crystal, and Citra, over European malts. The result is a refreshingly low ABV, hoppy delight with notes of citrus, tropical fruit, pine. Enjoy. 4.4% alcohol by volume. Enjoy in a Pilsner glass. That qualifies. Even though they want you to do like the kind of tall checky jammer, but we're gonna do it in our dimpled mug here. Yeah, that's all we got. Label-wise, something about it just a little off for me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's just the art in combination with the coloration. I don't know. I usually dig on Pariah's labels, but this one just, I don't know. There's a miss for me. It is. Something about it just irks me. I don't know what it is. Anyway, there you go. Scientific approach. Beer-wise, I mean, it looks the part of a Pilsner. Has maybe a skosh a little bit darker than what I expect from a Czech-style Pilsner, which is what I assume they're going for, except with that American twist on the hops. Index finger, soapy, creamy, fluffy white head on that sucker. And, yeah, so we're off to a good start. Definitely looks the part, especially you're talking about a craft brewery dropping, even though it is a little bit darker than what I would normally say. A Czech Pilsner would go for me. It's definitely super duper clear, which is quite nice. So give it a whirl. Give it a nose. I'm getting a big malt characteristic here. Not all that out of the blue because of the coloration of the beer is quite a bit darker. You'd expect a little bit more beefier malt here. So it's something beyond just a traditional kind of just base kind of Pilsner malt. It smells like it has something a little bit more kind of additional to it. Now they talked about European malts here, so it's probably just a standard kind of Pils malt combination of like some form of two-row, European style two-row in combination with a Pilsner malt, and that's kind of what I'm getting here. A richer, sweeter kind of maltiness, something above that just plain crackery kind of Pilsner malt that you typically get from a Pilsner. Not much as a precursor from hops, soft little melon characteristics, nothing too overt, over the top hop-wise. Very much a malt-forward beer. Is a slight little bit of a skunky characteristic to it. Not all that uncommon when it comes to Czech Pils, but that's because they come in green bottles, a lot of them, and they get light struck. Well, this is in a can, but again, it could be just a subtle perception thing. It could just need to blow off a little bit and we should be fine. But it smells very kind of traditional to me. And with their kind of dry hopping with American style hops, I expect to be a little bit more aromatically leaning towards fruity. But it just comes off as a malt forward kind of Euro style Pils. Let's dive in. Cheers, y'all. Yeah, I mean, it really does go directly from the nose to the taste. There is a bit more vibrance from the hops here, especially on the bittering side of things. Again, leaning a bit melon, a little bit of citrus here. But with that kind of call out of these American style hops on this Czech Euro kind of base to it, I expected it to shine or at least be a little bit more expressive. Again, like I said, on the nose, a little bit more expressive in that kind of new school kind of hop kind of way. It actually comes off quite traditional for me. Big beefy malt is actually the star of the show here. I think it comes off really, really nice. It's not heavy. It probably just stops maybe a skosh before crispy boy status, but at the same time, it's a very drinkable, very well made Pilsner. That little bit of kind of a skunky characteristic on the nose, not really there in the taste, so it could have been just something that was just needed to blow off the beer. And really has this really nice pop of bittering, very much Czech style bittering to it that accentuates or balances is a better word to say it. That big malt base, not overly sweet malt base. It just has this roasty toastiness. Comes off a little bit more nuttier than your base kind of crackery kind of Pilsner malt. And it ends up being a really, really, really well done beer. Like, from the look to the first initial kind of nose, I was like, okay, it might be a little bit, a little off flavor here with that little skunky thing going on. It could be a little bit kind of just a little bit too aggressive maybe on the malt side of things with a American hop. I'm not sure how that's going to play. All in all, as far as drinking goes, it is very, very, very traditional in the style of a Czech style Pils, and pulls it off in a really cool way because, the malt base in combination with those American hops, you'd expect something quite a bit different. But for me, at least, I'm not really getting it here. I'm getting a very, very kind of give this to me blind, and I think, okay, I'm drinking like a Euro-based kind of Czech style Pilsner. Even from the malt base and the mouthfeel, I keep talking about being a little bit denser, being a little bit bigger. That's kind of an Americanized thing, to be perfectly honest with you. More an error on my part, because, the American breweries like to be ultra super crispy. You're talking about some of the old school Czech style Pils. You talked about Pilsner Urquell, those kind of things. They tend to come off a little bit more like that. So it really does ring a bit more true to me, as Czech style Pils, as opposed to being some kind of Americanized dry hop version of a Czech style Pils. I dig it. I think it's quite tasty. And honestly, being the first Pilsner that I've had from Pariah, a very, very cool, very, very cool first dive into the Pils. I'm sure Brian has made a bunch more lager-based beers. It's just I haven't been privy to them. And this one is very, very fun one to kick it off. At least my experience. So yeah, I dig it. They just call it a Pilsner, dry hop Pilsner. They talk about kind of leaning into the traditional style of Czech Pils. I think they do a really good job of it. I went to the point where I kind of wish they called this a Czech style Pils, because I think it would be a little bit more kind of, not better, but it would just be like, that's what it is. So I expected a little, again, rehashing what I said, expected to be a little bit more not that, but that's exactly what it is. And it turns out to be a pretty tasty version of that. Is it one of the better Pilsners I've had as of late? Yes. Is it Mount Rushmore status? On the outside looking in, but very, very tasty up towards the top. Value and availability on this, don't know. Hopefully, it's relatively cheap. Again, craft Pilsner, they can get up there. Anybody who's purchased this, please let me know what it cost from the brewery or wherever you bought it, how much it cost for you, and leave you with if you like what we like this. If you like traditional Czech style Pils, you're gonna really do dig this. Like I said, that kind of throwdown of the kind of Americanized hops and their twist on it is a little misleading for me. But in the grand scheme of things, I think if you really do dig on Pils and you really do like traditional style Pils, I think this is gonna be something you really dig on. So there you go. Review in the books. Pariah. Have you been to the brewery? West Coast, East Coast, now predominantly East Coast, or pretty much all East Coast. Have you been to the brewery? Can you even go to the brewery and drink beer? I don't know. Have you had their beers? Have you had this particular beer? All that fun stuff down there. So there you go. Review in the books. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of craft Pils right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, y'all.